Hi, and welcome to Makeup Mugwump. My name is Leanne. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get ready using things that are almost empty. So I got this comment because on a video I was talking about cleaning my vanity off and what I leave on my vanity, and one of the categories of things I leave on my vanity are items or products that I am close to finishing up, that I'm intentionally trying to use up. And this is a fabulous comment. Do a face of what I'm almost finished using. Genius. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a face of what I've almost used up. I don't have something for every single solitary piece of my face because, as many of you know, using up a product sometimes can take years. Like, it just depends on how frequently you're using it, how much product is in it, the whole thing. But I have many products that are close to being used up or frequently used. You can see all the use in it, all that jazz. So let's do that face today. We're going to start with something that if I hadn't shook it, you would have seen. I've got approximately that much left in the LYS Aim High Multi-Use Liquid Highlighter. This is in the shade Brave. I do not use this as a liquid highlighter on top of my face, on top of my makeup. I do use it on top of my face, but I use it as a primer underneath my foundation to give me some glow and to prep for foundation. I have used, I think I bought this very soon after it came out. So this has been on my vanity for quite some time. LYS is a fabulous woman-owned, woman of color-owned brand. We love to see it. She has triangular packaging on lots of things. I like a lot of her products. A lot. Her powder is the one that sits by my computer for touch-ups during the day, and it's the translucent powder. But this is the product. I've used up the serum before, but this is the next product I think to go. But there's so little left, and I'm very excited to use it up because it's such a good product. Like, I like it. So there's that. Now the foundation, I've used up several foundations but I have way a lot. That's very muchly many's foundations. I have a lot of foundation, and I mean, like, an obscene amount, because it's like it's my bag, baby, you know? Like, if a new foundation comes out, I have to, like, want to try it. It's a thing. But the foundation that I have used up one, and I'm about to use up another, is the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Foundation Balm. Mine is messed up. Mine is Frankenstein. This is the shade Light 012 mixed with Light 002, but this is the one I'm trying to use up because it is too dark for me. It is not my shade, and so I am intentionally trying to get it gone, but you need so little of it, it takes forever. I have used up one. I can't remember what shade that was in, and then this one I got that was too dark. The shade I'm actually in is 006. I have that. It's in my backup drawer, but I want to use this before I use that. So I've frankened this one into being a color, but you just barely touch it, and then you've got enough for your whole face. Like, it's just gonna take forever. That is not a bad thing. It means that even though you're paying a high-end, mid to high-end price for this product, it will last you, which I love. I love a product that is good. It has beautiful packaging. It feels higher end. You know what I mean? Like, it feels nice to use the product, to have the product, but it's gonna last. That's a great thing. but I do want to use this up since it's not my shade. I've gotten a pretty decent match, you got to admit. But yeah, I've scooped out 002, mixed it with 012, and made a shade, but it's almost gone. But it's still going to take a while. I always apply that with a brush, always, and then go over it with a sponge. I love this product. It's so pretty. It's also one of the things that I, these products I keep on my vanity in order to use. So this is probably my most used everyday foundation, even though I've gotten some foundations recently that I have really wanted to use every day. That Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour Serum one is absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. It's so good. I've got a Misha BB cream that is so good. My Clinique, that tinted moisturizer, that one's in my to-go makeup that I put on in my car if I'm going to my internship and I need to get there to get a parking space kind of thing. And so I do my makeup in my car, you know, as you do. That makeup is done without any brushes at all. And so that's the one that I put on with my hands. So I've got seriously good foundations that I love, but this is the one that is almost gone and that I have used slammed to death and will continue to use. This is definitely, if I ever am out of a shade that I can make work, I will repurchase. So I am super stoked. Okay, so concealer, I've got a couple of options, and I have way too many concealers, just like I have way too many foundations. I have way too much makeup. But anyway, this one is, it's a twofer that I'm going to talk about, but I'm only going to use one today. So one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser in Brightener. I have used up several of these over the years. She's halfway gone. I love that shade. It's fantastic. But so this is disturbing. Okay, some of this is going to be real disturbing because it's bad. This is the Erase Paste by Benefit, which is no longer a product you can get. Ding! Because it's now like turned into something else. This is number one fair. I believe this is now the Boing concealer. But I don't know if you can tell how deeply in there we are. We haven't quite hit pan on her, but we are very, very close, darling. Very close. And so I want to use her today, and I want to use, I need to get it out. I need a brush. Typically with the Age Rewind Brightener, I just put it in. I mean, I just, you know, use the little sponge on top. But this is the brush. And you want to talk about an old product? This is the brush. I don't even think it's, oh, does it have a name on here? Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques. This came in like the original, like, package that I got from them when I bought these for the first time after watching Sam and Nick on YouTube teach me how to do makeup for so long. Shout out if you are still here from those days. For sure, we've persevered through a lot. This concealer has, you need, again, so little of it. I think that's probably a theme with most of this stuff, because if I use it every day, if I've had it for a while and it's still kicking, it's got a lot of product in it, or you need so little. Number one fair. I think I have number two as well, but we're going to work on using that up after we use this one up. It's a concealer. On me, for most people, it would be a color corrector, but I have enough pink in my skin that after I powder, you won't be able to tell that this has a pink undertone. I used retinol last night, and there's a little tiny patch of my face that is sensitive. Nothing else is. I don't know if I got just a little too much there or what I did. I don't know. But there's the Erase Paste. Okay, I don't use up like cream contour, liquid bronzer, cream liquid blush. I don't use up those things. So I don't have any that are anywhere close. Color products are difficult to use up because I change them out so frequently. This is another primer product that I have in my collection. This is the Benefit Lemonade. A lot of these things are Benefit. It is an eyeshadow primer that came out years ago, and I've used her and then put her down and then picked her back up again. And I'm going to use her up because it's still good. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been using it for months now again. It's a great little product. It's just real compact. It's a light yellow, like butter yellow color, which is not my undertone, but it works just fine. Like I'm going to cover it up with shadow anyway, so who cares? But it works really well. I'm really happy to be getting the use out of that product, and I love it. Okay, I'm going to set, and powder is another thing that I have way too much of. But the only one that I have that is like, we are getting to the dregs, is the Laura Mercier Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. And this one I only use underneath my eyes. There's not a whole lot that you use, and so it, again, is going to take forever, even though it's in a small container. This is a super finely milled, it's a white powder, but it doesn't come off white on your face. But it is touted to be brightening. I don't necessarily think it's the most brightening thing, but it sets my under eyes. It doesn't make them look too crepey, and that's all that I use. If I were to set my face with this little tiny jar, we could get through some more product, but I'm not doing that in my life. You know, some people, when they pan products or they're intentionally trying to use up products, they will like use a product, like they'll use an eyeshadow for a blush or a bronzer or a highlighter in order to, you know, have more usage for it, more surface area, things like that. I ain't got beef with folks that do that, but I actually don't do that. We are going to use what's on the puff for this one. This is a product I want to use up, but I can't see how much product I have left. It looks like this when it's together. This is the Flower Beauty Satin Finishing Powder. It's called Miracle Glow. It is incredibly bulky, and I don't like the packaging. The powder is just fine, but I can't stand how big this container is. I believe I ordered it off of Ulta without ever having seen it. And again, the powder's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful product. It's just the package is so huge for absolutely no reason. This could have been done in a much more sleek way. And then I wouldn't be trying to use it up, but I would definitely be happier about it in my collection. So we're going to use it up. I can't see how much is in it. I don't know. It looks like I might be able to pop this out, but I haven't actually tried. I don't want to break it, but I don't know how much is left. So every day we get closer. I don't know how close it is. It does come with the puff. The puff is too small, in my opinion, to use it all over the face every day, but it'll get the job done. I use my Treadwell puff for my face. But there she is. She's now set. Let me set my eyeshadow primer and knock things down, because that's how we're going to roll today. And actually, this is something that while I'm not intentionally trying to use it up, it is getting used up. This is there's too much powder in the air. This is a Soda Cosmetics shadow from a palette that I tried and did not like most of the shades in it. This shade is just a cream matte. It works just fine for setting your eyeshadow primer, and that's it. You don't, you know, so it sits here on this cute little tiny Z palette on my vanity so that I can use it. I also have this creamy matte shade. This is a white matte shade, and then I've got Sugar by Wet n Wild, and this is another Soda Cosmetics eyeshadow that came from another palette. I just depotted the shades that I would use and chucked the rest. So these I use for, like, you know, inner corner highlights, and these I use to set. But this one, there was a small amount that broke, and then I have been steadily using it for, I don't know how long. It's been a hot minute. So I would be happy to use that up. I would also replace that shade with just another shade. I do not need that specific product. It's not, it serves a purpose, but it doesn't scratch an itch. That makes any sense. All right, let's talk brows. So this is the pencil that I put away. I've used up so many of them over the years. This is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Has a spoolie on one end, a pencil on the other, and it is amazing. I get them in the shade taupe. I usually purchase, if I'm getting low, I say low. What I mean by that is I have a bunch of brow pencils that I need to use up. But this is probably my favorite. If I was going to only purchase one brow pencil the rest of my life, it would be this one. And I just drew all over my face. It always works. It's always good. And so I think it's now up to $3 or $4. I can't remember. It's getting up there. It used to be $2. And so when there's like a 50% off sale on e.l.f. or whatever, I always throw a couple more in my cart. I have backups in the backup drawer. It's just the easiest pencil. It's a great spoolie. It works. I love it. This brow gel, I think it is on its very last legs. This is the Merit Brow Gel in brown. It is such a good little product. It's so pretty. It's got some weight to it, which is really nice. I like products that make you feel like you're using a nice product when you're using it. And I don't know why I keep, like, this is the eyebrow today that I'm trying to draw all over. We're getting really close to using this one up, and I really do need to have it out so that I can get the last dregs out and then let her go. So I'm glad I'm doing this video because some of these things kind of get lost in the shuffle, and I forget to use the old standbys, if I'm not trying a specific product. So this was a really good, thanks. This was a really good video to do. All right, so let's talk. Okay, bronzer, blush. I don't have any that I am currently trying to use up. I have used up bronzer in the past. Probably the first bronzer I ever panned was Park Avenue Princess, but it was a deluxe sample size. Probably the most used bronzer, especially this year, I got this year, is the Hollywood Bronzing Glow from W7. It is a fantastic color. This is a good highlighter too. But I do have a highlighter that I'll show you that I'm using up. But let's look at the bronzer first. This bronzer is, I believe it's a Charlotte Tilbury kind of, dupe product or whatever. You can get it off of Amazon. This one was sent to me by a beautiful subscriber. Thank you so much. I don't know that I ever would have tried this, and it's become my favorite bronzer, period. Like, I just love it. It's so good. I have really high-end beautiful bronzers, which I also love, but this one, if you told me pick one bronzer and run, this is probably going to be the one I pick. Not even kidding. It's so pretty. And part of it is the shade itself works really well for me. And so it's a no-brainer. Again, I don't want to use it up. This is not one that I'm trying to use up in any way, shape, or form. But it is the one I use most often that sits here on my vanity because I don't have to think about, is it too dark? Is it too yellow? Is it too any of that? It's just really, really pretty. And this brush, can I just tell you, this no-name brush, I believe it was a BH Cosmetics set from Haute Look back in 2014. And it was like a red roll that smelled terrible when it got to my house. And it had all these red handled brushes in it. They have all since gone the way of the buffalo. This is the only brush I have left. It is the best dang bronzer brush. It's ridiculous. It's just a angled, whatever. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's crazy. And it has no name on it, no number on it. I would never be able to replace it. Just goes to show. Don't judge a brush by its name brand. Okay, blushes. Again, one that I use all the time is this one. It's here. It's amazing. I'm going to try to put it away. But I also, because of y'all's comments, I bought a couple other shades. This is the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. This is in Rosy Rosewood. This is a Kubai Kai brush, which is beautiful. It is so pretty. It is a rosy shade, not really long, and it goes with everything though. It's just so pretty. It makes me look fresh-faced and put together, and I love this blush. It is so pretty. I don't have any issues with this blush ever clashing with anything ever. I do put it on my nose because that's who I am, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. We've got, let me see. Can I see? We've got a bit of a working it down, you know, we're working it down, but it's gonna, I don't think I've ever panned a blush. That's not true. I panned Pixie's Subtly Sun-Kissed, and it was I think it's technically a bronzer, but it pulled blushy on me. It was small, and I actually have a backup of that one, and I panned that. I actually used that one up as a blush, and it's so pretty. I love it so much. Okay, so the color products for bronzer and blush, totally interchangeable. But highlighter, yes, there's a product I have used and abused and hit pan and all that. This is the AOA Studio Velour Highlighter, and sometimes you cannot get it anymore. And I don't know why they haven't, I don't know. So they had this line of velour eyeshadows and highlighters on Shop Miss A, and AOA Studio is their house brand. This is way back in the day. These are old. And it's just the nicest, putty, beautiful, no underlying pigment, just absolutely beautiful shine, right? So pretty. Love it so much. And I don't have a backup of sometimes. I don't. And I think when I sent out, I did a giveaway a long time ago. And I think there were 5 winners, I think. Everybody got it sometimes because it was available. And I thought, oh, everybody would love this. Should have kept them for myself. That's not true. I'm glad everybody gets to use it. But, oh, this is held together with tape. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I am not trying to use this up, but I will use it up because it's one of the most beautiful things I have in my collection. Love her. Love her so much. She's just gorgeous. This I am trying to use up, and I'm really close. I think we're down to here. This is the Japanese makeup setting spray. It doesn't smell good, but it's a cool aerosol can, which I love. It just doesn't smell good. Not like it smells like off. Just the fragrance in it, I do not appreciate. It's not great. Speaking of fragrance, today's fragrance is brought to you by Ariana Grande, the new, I say new, and like it was several months ago, the pink one. I also wanted the white one, but they ain't have it, so I got the pink little travel. I can't remember what it's called, but I like that. This setting spray is so pretty on the skin. And I mean, I would happily buy it again if that came in a different scent or no scent at all. That'd be good. Even though I need no setting spray at all. I have so much setting spray. But I actually do a really good job of focusing on one at a time, getting it out, and then picking up another one. Like I really try to get setting sprays used up so that they go. Which I like that about myself. Go me. Okay. Let's talk eyeshadow. So one eyeshadow that there's a couple of singles that I have that I've almost used up. And one of them broke, and then I continue to use it. And so it's even gotten even more use. So let's talk about that one real quick. This is one that I would use for an inner, man, she's messy, an inner corner highlight. So this is Bella White from Milani. So these were all the rage back in the day. And I have several other colors of this, but Bella White, I started using on the bottom corner and kept on, and then it broke at some point. I kept the little pieces. That's why it's just, absolutely revolting in the lid and everything. I kept the pieces, used as much of those up as I could. And now I'm working on, I mean, you can, I hope you can see, I'm working on the rest of it. So this is an inner corner highlight that works really well. I can't figure out how to depot these in any way, shape, or form. And so there she stays. So she gets used quite a bit for an inner corner. If I think about grabbing it and not that palette that we talked about a little earlier. The other single shade I think we'll probably use her today and do a little bit of a topper is ColourPop Sailor. We've talked about Sailor many times. This pan is loose and going to come out. It also has hard pan. It's been through the gigs, y'all. This is ColourPop Sailor. It is an ultra glitter. She is disgusting. She has not been creamy in years. I think this is the first like ColourPop, I'm going to say one and done, but lid shade that I got. I really love it. And it's got a beige undertone. It's got beautiful sparkle. Well, I think we'll probably use it today as a topper. The palette we're going to use is the one that it stays on my seasonal palette organizer on my vanity. Every season I switch out my eyeshadow palettes on my vanity for that season, pulling colors that I know that I would use quite frequently, even though new stuff comes in. I use it all the time. I pull stuff from my collection all the time, but those sit out and they're there for me to pull if I need some inspiration. But this stays in that front slot. This is the CoverGirl True Naked Nudes palette. She has been through the gigs, honey. This shade was a matte cream. This shade has been repressed because it was so far in the corners I couldn't quite get it. We're almost used that one up as well. I hope you can see, I think you can see the dent. I mean, there's some decent dents in all of them. This seems like just such an arbitrary palette to have pan in for someone with a collection as large as mine. I hear no one talk about this palette. And I have to tell you that it's a great palette. So we're going to use it. The matte brown that is almost gone is it's a perfect transition crease shade. It is beautiful, neutral. It is not warm. It is not cool. This is why this palette works so well. Every day of the week, doesn't matter what you're wearing, this will work. I did not travel with this palette when I traveled for work. I used to travel 100% of the time. And it was not in my travel because I felt like the packaging might not hold up. So I didn't travel with it. So this is all use like non-travel, which that may not mean anything to you, but when you travel full time and you leave this at home, it means it's not getting all the use that it would have gotten in a normal year. And I have one backup of this because I don't want to ever live without this palette. That sounds insane, but this is the one that if I just need a look, that's enough. Just in the crease, that's enough. It's got shimmers, it's got mattes, it has everything I need to make a quick, neutral eye look that still is beautiful. So let's use, goodness golly. We're going to use the next matte shade, Deeper, which is another chocolatey brown shade. And this is just the simplest eye look ever. This is not going to be complicated or crazy, but it works. I have used, there's like a taupey shimmer shade in here. I have used that as a crease shade. It works beautifully. I don't mind shimmer in my crease. Some people really don't like it. Some people love it. I do not mind it, so I will happily use a shimmer wherever. Typically, I will go for a matte in my crease, but I can make anything work. But that shade looks exceptionally pretty. It's just the easiest. It's not too light. It's not too dark. Like you can see it's there, but you aren't like super, you know, pageanty eye look or anything. For the lid, this shade is just so pretty. This is that taupey shade that I said I can wear in my crease. Let's use this one on the middle part of our lid. It's not like an indie shadow that is duochrome and unbelievably sparkly with it's not like that at all. This is a drugstore palette, but it is such a workhorse in my collection. It works. It just works. And I love that. Okay, for the inner part of my lid, let's use this pinky shade. This white shade, I say white, it's a cream sparkly satin. It's a satin. It works just fine, especially in a pinch for inner corner or whatever. It works just fine. But the pinky shade is also really pretty, so we're going to use that and put that. I always put my shimmer above my crease in the front because that's how I roll. And I'm going to blend in just a second. Give me just a little thick. And then we got a couple of topper things that I also use quite frequently. It's just, it's not like nothing to write home about, but also nothing to be shamed about. It's just a great little look. That's it. This shade I use for liner all the time, which you'll probably do today. That's why it has such a major dip in it, is because it's a liner shade for me. I don't typically put that on the outer corner. It's a little too dark. So we'll line with that today. Goodness gracious, I'm dropping everything. But let's talk about some topper shades, because Sailor is one, but another inner corner that I use, and this is not dried up. So I want to be very clear. This many of our Stila shades like dried, and I have several Stila shades that are left of the, you know, all the glowy whatevers. This came in some box. It is called Studio Makeup Endurance Cream Eyeshadow. It's in the shade pink. Is it pink? Hello. Pink. And I got it. I started using it, and then I just love it. You need so very little of it, but it's so cool. So I'll do that on my inner corner, but let's first use Sailor as a topper because I want to show you what she does. It's disturbing. I use my finger with it. There is hard pan. But if it ever gets too hard pan, I take a small little spoolie just for this purpose and just scratch over it, and then use what gets scratched up, and then we don't have hard pan for a little while. It's a beige underpigment. We're just putting it on for more sparkle. That's all. I use this as a one and done when I go to my internship. I just put it all over my lid and up, and then put on mascara, and that's it. That's all we do is Sailor. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. And you're like, okay, just a little more reflectivity. That's all it is. All right, let's use the Studio Makeup Pink. I scrape almost everything off. There's a little laid back doe foot. And then I put some on. I mean, it's so little. And then I tap it in with my finger so it sort of flattens out, because this is a liquid, like glittery product. And then there's my inner corner. I haven't done this in so long. I pulled this stuff out from the depths for y'all. But I love it. It makes like all these things go together because they all go together. I just got that way too far down. Hold on. This is the same Q-tip I used to clean up my eyebrows. What are you doing? Making a mess. What are we doing? Okay. Love it. Let's line with the really dark brown. And I'm trying these days to not get into the divot where I am, because I'm afraid that I'm going to, I'm afraid it's going to like split the shadow, you know, like and crack it. I'm trying to be smart about like trying to use it down all over. I know a lot of folks who do project pan stuff where they're trying to use up their makeup. They will focus their brushes in the exact same spot in order to hit pan. And you do you, boo. I'm actually trying not to do that because I don't want to have an issue with the integrity of the shadow. And you're like, Leanne, it's a CoverGirl palette. It's like $7. I know, but I love her. I want her to last forever. She's amazing. This is just an AOA Studio little angled liner brush. Just the cutest little brush, and it works so well. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get products that work really well. You can spend a lot of money if you want to, but you don't have to. It's just wonderful. I just love her. This palette's everything. Okay. I'm telling you. I have Natasha Denona. I have Pat McGrath. I have Tom Ford, Charlotte Tilbury. I have all those eyeshadows, and they're all beautiful. This is the one. This is the one in my heart. Insane, I know. But it's because she works for it. That's why. She works for it. Okay, let's get some mascara on. I don't have any mascara. I mean, I use mascara arbitrarily. It doesn't, you know, like, my favorite mascara is the Essence Slash Princess. It's the best. Currently, I have an e.l.f. Big Mood mascara that I want to try for the first time today. So this is not, but I use up my mascara pretty often. Like, I also don't switch them out as much as I need to. And I also try really hard to keep it under a handful that I have open, and that's a struggle too. So here I am opening a new mascara, but I'm just lying to myself. I do need to go in and like pull mascaras that need to go, because I've had some out for way longer than the amount of time you're supposed to have them open. Mostly I don't care about it. And I've never gotten eye infection. Let me stop saying that before I get one. I have lashes that don't do anything. But first, this one is almost gone. So let's use it. This is the AOA Studio Skinny Under Lash Primer. She's teeny tiny and she's white. So she goes under your mascara to make more impact, I believe is the whole point. But we have almost used her up. So she's a struggle bus right now. Don't worry about her. She'll get there. I have a haul that I'm going to film immediately after this. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so that you don't miss upcoming videos. I've got some e.l.f., some Ku by Kai, and Sugar Drizzle. I'm excited about all of it. Okay, we made a giant mess on our lashes. Hallelujah. She's almost gone. Let's try this Big Mood mascara. Okay, she's hourglass shaped. She's chunky, which I don't mind. Let me get a mirror before I make a mess. This is a big brush. So if you're not careful, you can get it everywhere, which I'm pretty good at, getting it everywhere. I saw a news article this morning about a cat that is now an official part of a capybara herd and in a zoo. And the cat just started hanging around with them. And they've like, the capybaras have accepted the cat. The cat now lives there. And the zoo put up a name with the cat. I mean, like hung a plaque with the cat's name up on it. So when you go to the zoo, you see like capybaras, but you also see the cat's name. That's really cool. I also, when I was in California, I went to the San Diego Safari Park, which is a different, it's owned by the San Diego Zoo, which is, you know, world famous for how amazing it is. But the Safari Park Zoo is different. And so my sister and I went there, and there was a cheetah, but that cheetah had also in its enclosure a Labrador, a dog, just chilling with the cheetah. They're like BFFs. It's amazing. My sister and I got there really early in the morning, as you do when you are obsessed with animals. And the attendant who was at the cheetah exhibit told us all about the dog. Because that's who I mean, I was interested in the cheetah, but I was really interested in the dog and their relationship. Because we were the only ones there. We just sat there and talked to that guy for quite a while. Lashes are done. That looks pretty, right? Yes. I don't do usually a bottom lash line, nothing. Typically, I don't do that. But if I did, it would be fine. I don't use like an eyeliner pencil. I have used several of them up over the years, but there's not one that's close to being finished. Just nah, bruh. I have so many lip products, but this one is close to being used up, and I was reminded how close I am of using it up the other day. This is the Jordana Twist and Shine Moisturizing Balm Stain. This came out when the Revlon ones were really popular. That's it. That's how much we have left. And some of that is plastic. This is the shade Nude Chic. I have backups of this because I bought it out of the store. And this is why. The color is perfect. It is my lips, but better. It does have glitter in it, but you cannot feel it. It's this almost cool brown. I mean, it's perfect. These were like $3.99. Where are you, Jordana Twist and Shine Balm whatevers? They're so good. So good. There were other shades. This is the only one that matters. It is so good. There's my face of stuff that I've almost used up. It comes together, doesn't it? It really does. I love it. Thanks so much for hanging out and doing this look with me. I appreciate y'all. Thanks so much for your comments and video suggestions. I love doing videos that y'all want to see, that I also want to do. So thanks so much for that. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see down below. Hit subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.